The following video has been brought to you with the generous aid of my patrons on Patreon. If you'd like to join them, consider pledging at least $1 a month to get early access to my videos. There are other tiers with other rewards as well. If you can't afford even $1 a month, don't worry about it. Just like or upvote this video, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe on YouTube or follow on VidMe. I appreciate all of you. I hope you enjoy the video, and as always, keep it casual, y'all.
Last time on Fun 5e Builds, we met the Frieza race character with a heart of gold and a very distinct color scheme, Gelato, the Ki Fighter, who's an exile from his own clan. Now, meet his counterpoint, and quite possibly his ally depending on the situation, the Saiyan known as Kayl. Stand by, it's time for Fun 5e Builds Z! Dragon Ball Z. Rock come get me. Rock Ball Z. Rock come get me.
Hello out there, casual fanatics. Jeremy here, the Casual Shadow, and welcome to Fun 5e Builds, the show where I create concept characters based on things that I like. Last time, we started up this double header of Dragon Ball inspired characters with the Frieza race character known as Gelato. And now, because it's only fitting that we have this if we have a Frieza race character, we're going to make a Saiyan like none of you've seen before, a Saiyan that could very well realize the legend, provided he levels up enough. So, let me introduce you to, and tell you the backstory of, the Saiyan known as Kayl. Now, those of you who are sharp-eyed viewers and who have been to my streams may recognize this guy as being my playable character for Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 under the name of Casual Shadow J. Well, if I had to put an actual Saiyan name to him, it would be Kayl. So, here you go. Kayl, vegetable pun. Hey. Anyway, speaking of Kayl himself, as you can see, he is a very proud warrior, very into keeping himself centered, very well into keeping himself trained at all times, because he believes that keeps him ready to act even when he appears to be weak or resting. And he's also a very showy guy. He's very proficient in the martial arts, and especially if there's a job chance where he gets to get to it, he will so take it up and show himself off. He is a mercenary, though he is a good guy. Being a Saiyan, of course, he leans more towards the chaotic end, but he is a very good person. He only fights for good causes. He only fights for the causes that he finds are just and right to fight for. He's not the kind who will just destroy planets willy-nilly or take over planets. That's not the kind of guy he is. He wants to help lift up that which is laid low. So it does put him at odds sometimes with some of his fellow Saiyans, but he feels like he's right and he's not about to back down to save his life. And he knows that one day or another, preferably sooner rather than later, he'll be known for his deeds, and he hopes that those deeds are in fact the good deeds. Unfortunately, because of having butted heads with quite a few people in the galaxy, there's a lot of powerful people who would seek to take him out, have his head. So part of the reason why he trains a lot is to make sure that he can take care of that before they take care of him. So that's it. Also, there is someone that he holds a candle for. They don't know anything about him at this point, but he still loves and cares for them, and he hopes to find and fight for them and show how much he cares. What could that possibly be? Well, I'll leave that to the shippers to decide. Now let's take a look at the mechanics. As you can see, we've got the character Kayl, level 4 Ki Fighter, Saiyan, Chaotic Good Mercenary. Taking a look at the stats, 18 for strength. He's very high into strength. And Constitution, again, that comes partially with the race. Dexterity bone is 15, very respectable. Very intelligent, 13. And quite charismatic as well. His wisdom isn't the greatest, but let's face it, with Saiyans, as far as wisdom goes, it's a low bar to clear. You got Goku, then you got Vegeta, and then that's about it. So, very low bar to clear there for wisdom. He does have a pretty good passive perception, though, and the reason for that is because of him being a mercenary. He has to keep his eyes open at all times, so he has training in that, as well as training in intimidation, because, let's face it, Saiyans are amongst the scarier races in the universe. There are many who have legends about a Saiyan destroying them, and they have right to be afraid. But, of course, athletics and acrobatics are also his strong points. To that end, dexterity and constitution are his main saving throws. Again, comes from the Ki Fighter. But the strength saving throws are no slouch either. A +4 to strength. Pretty good. So let's take a look at some more of the mechanics. Of course, unarmed proficiency on there, which gives him the +6 attack bonus and the +4 and the +6 hit die with force on there. Got the Ki Blast on there. Again, Constitution being the predominantly casting stat. D12 being his hit die means that this guy has an amazing 49 hit points because of his race. He's a little more durable. He's also got and because of the higher Constitution, he's a little more durable. He's got a very great armor class, even without armor worn. An 18 armor class. Of course, Saiyan's very durable race. Can take a beating and come back and hit you even harder. +2 initiative and +40 speed, because again he does get some a little bit of flight for his leveling and a lot more speed. Now, as far as the other main mechanics that differ from Gelato, being a Saiyan, he has a tail that is prehensile. It can lift up to 10 pounds, and it can actually manipulate objects, albeit at a -2 check to it. Though it is also a weak point. If it's severed, he takes -2 strength until the tail grows back after 1 to 4 weeks of having been cut. He also possesses dark vision, so he can see very well in the dark. And here's the big one, the Ozaru transformation, which is kind of similar to lycanthropy, in that it's a very bestial form, very feral form. He has to make a wisdom save, otherwise he will go berserk, which, with his bonus to wisdom being a 0, means pretty much he is going to have to, well, let's just put it this way. I just rolled a d20, 20, hit a 16. That didn't work too well. He would have gone crazy. So he's going to go crazy more often than not. But the Ozaru form is incredibly powerful. It does drop his intelligence down because it is, again, a very feral form, but it greatly increases his power, +3 to strength, +3 to con, and gives him a frightful presence ability where people have to make a DC 17 wisdom save or be frightened. You can continue the saves at the end of each turn for a period of a minute, but until they save, they're still frightened. If they successfully save, though, they're immune to the frightful presence for a period of a full day. The only way a transformation can end is because the tail is cut off, the Ozaru has been taken off, or, going by the GT canon, if the source of Blut's waves is destroyed, i.e. a moon or a nearby planet. Now, again, because of the Ki fighting, he does have Flurry of Blows, Patient Defense, and Step of the Wind. But this one, I gave the Kaioshin style. I decided to give him that because one of the attacks here is actually pretty much kind of like a meteor crash. It is an overcharge ability, which means while you can spend 5 Ki points to be able to use it, if you add on Ki points, you can do additional attacks. So let's say I spend 6 Ki points here, and that means I have 1 attack for absolute certain, and at minimum 1 other attack up to a D4. So I'm going to actually roll a D4 here on camera and see what it is. Okay, so I rolled a 4 that time. And that means 5 total attacks that all go on one attack roll. If that one attack roll hits, you get to pop them 5 times d6 plus 4 force damage. And then you can spend a key bonus and roll 2 more unarmed strikes and go bah, bah. You can really put the hurting on somebody with this. And of course with the Kaioshin there are other techniques on there, ones that primarily do use energy blasts, like the Kamehameha. I was mostly trying to get across the reflection of this character being more the physical kind, as that's what I created him in Xenoverse 2. So, really, that's the long and the short of it. That is Kayl, the counterpoint to Gelato. So, little Patreon screen there. Oh well. I mean, I put him up at the front anyway, so you see it anyway. No big deal. Live, everybody. Or pre-taped, I guess. I could record that again, but never mind. Anyway, that's Kayl, and I hope you like these 2 builds here. If you want to see more akin to this, if you want to see me maybe do a Namekian at some point, or maybe an Earthling at some point, I would be very willing to do that. And if nothing else, I hope I've inspired you, because there's a lot of Dragon Ball lore out there that has gone unexplored. There's 6 whole universes that were just wiped off of the map by Zeno that could be rife for untold stories, and while Toei Shueisha's group is certainly probably going to do that, there's no reason why we can't do that ourselves. I mean, it's all about having fun. That's the point of D&D, that's the point of being a fan of something, that's the point of enjoying, some form of media. You get to, have your own fun with it and share it with other people. So, with that in mind, thank you for watching these 2 fun 5e builds. And as always, until next time, keep it casual, y'all.
Why are we here? Because we're here, roll the bones, roll the bones. Why does it happen? Because it happens.